Are open weight models finally on par with the big lab ones? QMK3 just dropped, and based on this arena benchmark, it's kind of crushing it. Now, I haven't used the model myself, but the problem with benchmarks is I can come out and say I have a surge benchmark, and GPT 5.6 Soul is actually 20 Browning points, Fable 5 is only 13 and a half, but on extra high thinking, it's 15 and a quarter. We as developers usually operate on vibes, switching models to best serve our needs in the given moment. There's also this tweet from Mitchell saying, using a generic agent harness like Codex or Claude is better than Ask Me Anything built-in product chat boxes in every product I've ever tried. Well, Mitchell, I'm not going to argue with you, but have you tried my conference scheduling AI chatbot? Jokes aside, there are businesses that have in-product chatbots that work really well, but in order not to go broke, you need to make sure that you can optimize your agents for quality, speed, cost, and a lot of other factors. This is built using AI SDK with AI Gateway, so it allows me to pick from different models, and I have a few open source models here that users can use. You can find sessions, and it'll do a couple tool calls and return some data around the sessions. How do I make sure that I make the right choice? Well, I can go off vibes, or I know what you're going to say. There's evals. Let's do a quick evals 101. You have a data set that has a bunch of scenarios that have an input and an expected outcome. You give those to an agent, and then there's a score that evaluates it from 0 to 1 based on how close it is. You take that data, you get the results, and you adjust your model, your input, your prompt. You have an LLM as a judge, and you run it all again. It's kind of like unit tests, but for non-deterministic scenarios. And you know who loves to write unit tests these days? Agents. And a lot of these data sets are also synthetically generated. And aren't agents so good at understanding how humans behave, how they write, and what they do? I don't know. But what I also have is my app instrumented with Sentry, and every single conversation is tagged with this conversation ID. This is a new feature part of agent tracing. I can look into one of them. I can see the inputs. I can see the outputs. I can see what model was used, what the cost was, and additional attributes that might be helpful in the future. I can also visualize it in this timeline to double check how long each operation took, which tool calls were called. And because this is inside my Next.js application, I can actually zoom out and take a look at the full trace waterfall from the page request to the API endpoint, all of the agent tracing, as well as database lookups for things in my database. And so when it comes time to debugging, I have all of this context as well as logs, application metrics, and anything else I'm configured with Sentry all in one place. So there is this great data set that lives inside Sentry, but Sentry doesn't do evals. This is where Braintrust comes in. There are different tools out there for evals, and we're not going to get into details of the differences of all of them. But what I was able to do is using the Sentry MCP and the CLI, export all these conversations and create a data set inside Braintrust, and then run a couple of experiments. The things that I cared about are the answers grounded in real database talks? Is it efficient? And is it actually helpful? And what I found was based on conversations that it analyzed, GPT OSS 20 billion was actually just as helpful as the Claude models at a fraction of the cost. Now again, mileage may vary. Because of the nature of these systems being non-deterministic, you might see different results. And this isn't about just using real production data or synthetic data sets. It's about having the option to use both. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you found this useful, please like and subscribe. I want to start posting more videos and I need ideas. The best ideas are coming from you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.